Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a really great day trading today. So today was Tuesday, March 25th, and we had a relatively slow, flat day, but a lot actually happened. And SPY, we did open today on the upside, and we took it right to that weekly 35 EMA. So right in the middle of the trading range, when we opened today, we had the 200-day moving average right underneath us with a slight up tilt, then the weekly 35 EMA tilting slightly down, and then this bear gap right here that we just had a little bit left from 2 Mondays ago. So right when we opened, we took it up to that 35 EMA and then came up, filled the rest of that bear gap. So that is now closed and resistance is right at 576. We got pushed down back underneath that 35 EMA, bounced on the 200-day moving average, and we closed right above the 35 EMA. So really flat from where we opened to where we closed was completely flat. And with as many levels that we had in our trading range today, we did focus right in the middle. And the 200-day moving average and the weekly 35 EMA are huge levels. So it absolutely makes sense that we traded sideways today along that. SPX, we had very similar price action, but that 35 EMA is a little bit lower here. We did actually get higher above it today. So at open, we were right above that 35 EMA, came up a little bit, then we did see a bounce on that 35 EMA and then closed above it. Two really huge levels, and it makes sense that we did trade flat along them today. There is a ton of conflicting momentum on our chart. We've got this 1 hour coming down here, 35 EMA up, 200-day moving average up, 35 EMA on the weekly down. So it really makes sense that we stayed right in the middle here. And SPY closed up 0.24%, SPX up 0.16%, and in both we did close within the implied move. QQQ today opened slightly up, and yesterday we did trade completely within this gap, and it was actually a pretty funny close. But today we did take out the upper part of that gap, so we do still have an island gap down here. Today we pushed up and we took it to just short of that 200-day moving average. So right above where we closed, we have the 200-day moving average and weekly 35 EMA, huge levels, and we did stay completely underneath them again. We also have a lot of conflicting momentum on today's chart. 1 hour 200 moving average pointing down. This 30-minute 200 moving average, we did start the day with it down. It did flatten out a little bit. And yesterday we did have this bullish cross up, and today a continuation here, and that 30-minute 200 moving average still hasn't turned up. But that could be a place where we start building a little bit of bullish support. And you could see down in Stupid Willie right here, we did see a little bounce right here. And the clear target here is to get above this 200-day moving average. But definitely know that this 1 hour is right there with a bear gap. So if we do get above it, be careful, definitely take profits if you're up, because that is a pretty sharp angle right there. So QQQ closed up 0.57%, VXN down 3.29%, and we did trade completely within the implied move today. Volatility did come down, and a lot of this premium burnt up before we had a chance to get into any decent type of setup up there. So IWM had a down day today, and we did basically trade down to the 35 EMA. So it was a slow drop today, and then as soon as we touched this 35 EMA, we bounced there. And you could see that candle definitely looks like an indecision candle right there, with those big wicks on each side, but we did see that 35 EMA catches today. So always know where your 35 EMA is before you start trading. Today we did drop right down to it. We did trade completely within the implied move. IWM down 0.56%, RVX down 2.24%, And again, we did trade completely within the implied move. And that is such a funny looking chart. Look at that 1 hour momentum though, just right through the trading range there. If we see that level tomorrow, I would definitely watch out. And lastly, we have DIA. Today, DIA did open with a attempt to get into this gap a little bit more. So we did push up today, just short of the top of the implied move for the week. Remember, I did sell 427, 429 bull put spreads on this contract. We only have Friday contracts in DIA. So I have 427, 429. So far this gap is pushing price back out, but we did push a little bit into this gap and then drop down to the 30-minute 35 EMA. The weekly 35 EMA is also there. We have been trading above that this week, and then the 35 EMA on the 30-minute time frame came up today as well. That is a bullish signal right here. It's not the strongest bullish signal, but it is a bullish signal. And on this time frame, 30-minute time frame, this 30-minute 200 moving average, it was coming down ever since we crossed down here. You could see that we did have that tilting downward and it was resistance. Today, it actually flattened out. So we are in a neutral position here, even though we are bullish with the 35 EMA pulling through, and so far it is holding as support. So 200-day moving average still has some positive momentum here. This today and yesterday may be adding to it. And then we did get a bullish continuation with that 35 EMA. So this is a really interesting chart. Every chart today felt like a battle plan, and even though we didn't have a lot of volatility, it feels like there's just a lot of strategic moves happening right now, trying to get around some of this. DIA closed up 0.08%, and we are still trading within the implied move. All right, so that was a recap of today. Tomorrow's trading ranges are coming up next, and that video is for members only. So if you want to join, there is a link in the pinned comment, and we're going to go over tomorrow's entire trading range for all 5 tickers, and also there's going to be a link to the charts on TradingView so you can grab them. And as soon as you do join, you will get a notification as soon as that video is ready. So come join us in the VIP trading room and have fun tomorrow. Trade safe. Make sure you take profits when you're up, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.